Alright tubes, we got a new project. This is a Honda GX160 air compressor. It actually belongs to a very good friend of mine. He's a house framer. And there's actually two of these. They're identical. And I got a bit ahead of myself. I want to apologize. I took the carburetor off already. But if you look on any Honda GX video, the carburetor is really simple. It just goes on those two studs like that. And then the air cleaner assembly goes on the front. It's that simple. I've taken the liberty of taking the bowl off the carburetor, and there's absolutely no dirt in this carburetor. But he says it won't start. So what we're going to do is we're going to check for spark right now. There's the spark plug. I've got it disconnected. We'll put it onto the spark detector. Come around here a little bit better so you can see it. And we'll give her a tug. Oh, I have to make sure it's turned on. Ha! Electrical on. So now we're going to take the spark plug out and just ground it to see if we can get a spark. Now we ground this like that, and it's easy to get a high voltage shock when you do this. So. Now there's not enough spark to jump the little gap on the spark plug right there, but I bet you the coil is fading. I haven't tried any of this yet. I'm going to try a different spark plug just to make sure. Honda plug. Okay, tubes, where were we? We were going to check for a spark on this new plug. So it hasn't got enough energy to go that gap, but enough energy to probably be a pain in the neck if it was running. BTH1 over and out. We're going to take the cover apart and see if we can find the coil. Alright tubes, we're quickly going to take this cover off. I think I can take the main cover off without taking the rewind. This is to get at the coil. There it is, coming out. That's kind of handy, not having to take the rewind off. Still connected by a shutoff wire, I guess. And that right there is the coil. And all we should have to do is take the two retaining bolts off and the wire that turns off the coil from the switch. Right there. So we'll just do that now. Oh, that came off nice. A 10mm wrench and a pair of pliers. Okay, I'm going to move the fuel line out of the way, and then this electrical line should just pop out like that. Oh, look at that. That was clipped onto there like that, and that just pulls off. And there we have it. And I've got this exact machine outside with a blown motor. So we should be able to exchange that part and see if we can make this baby fly again. Okay, tubes. I've got clean gas in the tank now. We're on reassembly. And I'm just going to stick the carburetor in. I've got a golf tee stuffed into the gas line because it was leaking out of there like crazy. We're just going to line the carburetor up. And forgive me for just a moment. Taking the camera off the tripod. So now, this is the throttle linkage right here. And this is a dampening spring right there. One hand. So we get that throttle spring in there like that, or the throttle lever, push it down, and then you have to make sure that it's going to clear that, that groove right there, and it will. So now we're going to take the dampening spring and hook it right into that hole there. Did you get that? Right there. Now we're going to push the carburetor in, and we'll hook up the gas line. This is going to be messy. Okay, let's see if we won't make too much mess here now. Take the golf tee out, let a little gas run. Doesn't hurt to let the gas run a little bit, although there's a fire hazard. I'd like to let the gas run in just in case there's any nonsense in the gas, but it should be good. I washed the tank out, or flushed the tank. Alright, that was a 2-second break. Now I'm just going to tighten up this little gas clamp here. I don't know if you can see, but I'll show you when it's over. Okay, I put the gas clamp back on like that. And now we're going to mount the carburetor, just like that. Now that gas line should go back in that groove again, making sure the throttle has free run there. See that? Now, we've got everything put back together again. Now we're going to, I'll be right back, and we'll adjust the coil. Okay, tubes, we're back. Now we're going to adjust this coil, and on this one, the magnets are actually a little further indented right there than the frame of the coil, the frame of the flywheel. Babble, babble. So now I am going to just loosen these. I'm going to use a ratchet. Oh, and I threaded the lead of the coil through the back of the brackets before I installed the carburetor, because it all kind of fits together in one big happy little bunch of parts. You know how it is. So now we are just going to push down on this, change the direction of the ratchet, and tighten this up. I think we're done. We don't want to tighten these things up too much because they're aluminum, right? And it just makes good habit to do crisscross patterns when you're putting stuff together. And I always tighten things up, and then I go back and crisscross again and tighten it up for good. Good. Now the carburetor cover. So I hope that you got a chance to see how the coil was replaced and how to remove the carburetor. Or install the carburetor. I don't think I showed the removal of it. So there's 2 screws on the front, and on this model there's a screw, just a bolt on the top. You can watch that. Do a visual check. Okay, so this lever is gas on and this is choke. So I guess now is the big time, eh? More choke, maybe. Now less choke. Holy smokes! So now I'm not going to let it run full blast and charge the tanks with air because I got a lot more to check out. But that's good, obviously. Okay, tubes, we're going to give it a real world test here. There were just little foam blocks inside these air cleaners. I just blew them out with my other air compressor, with the other air compressor. And there was no valve or anything on here for the output hose, so I just stuck one of mine on there. It was leaking out of there and everything. So let's just see if we got some. Turn it on. Away we go. Wow. Looks like an idle might need to be set.